QBZ-192 is pretty much default, stable, balanced carbine, but with an interesting twist. In today's video we are going to talk about everything that matters for this weapon, including stats, information, tests, and of course, builds. So sit back, relax, and let's dive in. The QBZ has 25 flat damage, which is on the middle side, a 771 rate of fire, and a 644 base muzzle velocity. It has a common for carbines 30 bullet mag, 200 ADS transfer speed, a standard headshot multiplier, and an approximately 2.57 second reload time. This weapon is solid based on stats, but the thing these numbers cannot tell us is that it's a very precise weapon with pretty much manageable recoil control, but we'll talk about it a bit later. The QBZ has 5 damage zones with damage fall-off points at 9.5, 21, 36 and 75 meters. To the body, we deal 25, 21.5, 17.7, 16.7 and 14.3 damage at respective ranges. For a headshot, we have a standard headshot multiplier of 1.34 and our damage rises to 33.5, 28.8, 23.7, 22.4 and 19.2. If we use hollow point ammo, our headshot multiplier becomes 1.5, so we deal 37.5, 32.3, 26.6, 25.1 and 21.5 damage. And more interestingly, we have synthetic ammo with a headshot multiplier of 1.75, which means we deal 43.8, 37.6, 31, 29.2 and 25 damage at relative ranges. But why exactly do we need to know these numbers? Without them, we could not calculate STK and TTK parameters for weapons, so let's move on to it. To the body, we need 4 in the first, 5 in the second, 6 in the third and fourth, and 7 shots in the fifth zone to kill our target. For a headshot, we need 3 in the first, 4 in the second, 5 in the third and fourth, and 6 shots in the fifth zone to kill. If we use hollow point ammo, we need 3 shots in the first, 4 shots in the second to fourth zones, and 5 shots past that. As for synthetic ammo, which is way more interesting for us, we need 3 shots in the first and second zones, and 4 shots to kill past that. I personally think that you don't need to use hollow points ammo on any weapon where it doesn't make a 1 or 2 shot kill. But why is that? Paper stats tell us it's pretty much good. The simple answer is we have synthetic ammo on the QBZ and it's simply better. The objective answer is that our game is too fast-paced and has many things happening at the same time, to aim for the smaller head hitbox of moving targets. There's simply no need to risk missing shots when we have a 300 millisecond TTK weapons. It's way better to aim for the upper chest area, so more bullets hit your target with a chance of a headshot. Yes, you can't rely on that, but statistically speaking it's way better than tryharding headshots on this weapon. It really works only on started targets, which are rare. Talking about time to kill parameters for multiplayer, it takes less than a quarter of a second to kill your target in the first zone, which is pretty good and way more manageable than, for example, AK-205. And as I mentioned earlier, this weapon is very balanced and based, so it sits in the middle compared to other weapons in the game. Here's the comparison of all carbines sorted by time to kill parameter in the first and second zones. As we can see, the QBZ is in the 6th spot here, but it differs not too much. In fact, if we take the third zone into account, it leaves the SOR 300 behind. Now let's quickly talk about RedSec. This weapon can be viable, but not an S tier for RedSec. It's pretty much okay. Same as in multiplayer. It's balanced and can give a fight in the right hands. But of course, something like SG503 or M4A1 will destroy it, as it will take 100 milliseconds less to kill your targets at medium ranges. If you compare it to other carbines for RedSec, it sits at the 6th spot, same as in multiplayer. And if you take the 3rd to 5th zones into account, the QBZ becomes stronger and takes the 4th place. This weapon is based, and on paper stats it seems very balanced. So, what's the twist that I mentioned at the start? It lies in the attachment section, as this weapon has the least amount of them. So now is the time to compare attachments side by side and discuss them, starting with the muzzle section. The QBZ is one of the weapons that lack attachments, especially in muzzle section. As always, the first one is without muzzle at all, and basically we are choosing between a flash hider and a standard suppressor here. We don't need a linear converter as this weapon spray is pretty decent and stable. We can use both of our choices depending on the build and spare points. My recommendation here is that you should choose a flash hider for hipfire oriented builds for no hipfire accuracy downgrade. And you should choose a suppressor for other builds, as we don't rely on hipfire that much and it will negate the minimap spotting. Alright, let's move to the underbarrel section, starting with vertical grips. For the QBZ specifically, I believe it's not a must-have attachment. This weapon is pretty much accurate and, more importantly, very stable and has a decent spray pattern. That said, the QBZ is very manageable to control, you just need some practice. I don't really recommend using something other than a low vertical grip, as it won't give you any downgrades. But in case you are struggling to control this weapon, the 25-point vertical grip is the best choice to improve recoil control. Other grips are not worth their cost. Now for stubbies. Stubbies are useless for this weapon in my opinion. Why is that? Well, simply because of their bad cost efficiency and the fact that angle grips will give you more for the same amount of points. And as we clearly see, they don't differ that much in terms of recoil control either. If you really want to use stubbies, the only viable choice I see here is the folding stubby. Angled grips. The more weapon tests I make, the more I believe they are the best underbarrel for most weapons in the game. Not for all, but most. Additionally, as I mentioned earlier, the QBZ has a decent spray pattern, so we tested without an underbarrel too. A hand stop widens our spray and is not worth 15 points here. An adjusted angle grip can be viable but has an ADS accuracy while moving downgrade. The slim angle grip, the king, has no downgrades at all and only makes our weapon control better. A full angled grip is not worth it either. So the best choices here are nothing and the slim angle grip due to its benefits. Now let's move to the next section to test all our underbarrel choices. We have 5 to choose from. If you, like myself, feel you can manage recoil control without an underbarrel, I strongly recommend doing so, as we will get many points for things such as synthetic ammo, for example. The alloy vertical grip is very decent while leveling up. If you really struggle to control this weapon, the 25-point vertical grip is your choice. The stubby, meh. The slim angle grip is the best here overall. I am personally leaning towards no grip at all, as I feel its recoil is very controllable. But if you want to make it more stable, you should choose the slim angle grip. Lasers. If this is not the first time you're watching my videos, you should know my preference for this attachment. And the more I play, the more I love hipfire builds. They are really fun and effective. And if we made the AK-205 work with it, the QBZ will easily get the job done. For those who still make comments such as "whoever uses green laser is a bot" or something similar, remember, fresh close quarters meat is the best. No jokes, if you can't hide the laser or use it properly, it's a skill issue. Enough words, here are all of the tests for the lasers section. As always, I recommend using both green lasers and, as we have many free points for using no grip, the 30-point blue laser as well. That's totally up to you. I prefer the 20-point green laser for my playstyle. Alright, let's move to the fun part, the builds. The QBZ is a good weapon for close to medium range, and I will give you 3 main builds that I found effective and fun for this weapon, including a synthetic ammo balance build, a close quarters build, and the recoil control build for those who struggle. The first build I call the Equalizer. It's a synthetic ammo balance build for an aggressive playstyle. For the side, take what you want. Next, we need a standard suppressor, a 20-point green laser, synthetic ammo, and a 30-bullet fast mag. If you want, you can switch the standard suppressor for a flash hider and the green laser for the 30-point blue laser to get more accuracy while moving, or a bigger mag. It's up to you. With this build, we become a strong mid-range fighter, and if used properly, it will be very effective. We need a suppressor to negate 3D and minimap spotting, a green laser for hipfire accuracy to be more potent in close quarters, synthetic ammo for those headshots, and a 30-bullet fast mag for spare points. This build is very strong, even if you don't aim for heads, as we don't want to rely on that. But it's never bad to have a chance of dealing additional damage to the head while hip firing or shooting at the upper body. And to be fair, the QBZ has so few needed attachments that it's very easy to get those 25 additional points for synthetic ammo. Talking about playstyle, this build is better suited for fast-paced and aggressive gameplay. If you can control this gun without an underbarrel, it will be very accurate and give you a fun time and many kills. The second build is the CQ Butler. This one is aimed at maximizing your hipfire accuracy so you can dominate those close quarter battles. As always, for the side section, take what you want. Next we take a flash hider, a 20-point green laser, a flashlight, a 30-bullet fast mag and synthetic ammo. Yes, this weapon can be very effective with a close quarters build. And what do we need to make it real? Of course, we need our hipfire as accurate as possible. The flash hider is to negate 3D spotting, a flashlight with a 20-point green laser for obvious reasons, and we take a 30-bullet fast mag with synthetic ammo, so if your shots hit the enemy's head, it will be a banger. This build is fun and is aimed mostly at pushing playstyle and very aggressive gameplay. It will be a very effective build if you use it right, and do not overestimate yourself while pushing. And of course, do not forget, it can give a fight at longer ranges too, even if you didn't build for it. The third build is the Stabilizer. It's a standard ammo, no recoil build for a more patient and supportive playstyle. For the side, take what you want. Next we need a flash hider, a 25-point vertical grip, a 36-bullet mag, an extended barrel, and a 20-point blue laser. If you want, you can switch the 36-bullet mag for a 30-bullet fast mag and the extended barrel for the 30-point blue laser to get more accuracy while moving. It's up to you. With this build, we become a pretty strong all-range fighter. It can do its job. We need a flash hider to negate 3D spotting, a vertical grip to improve our recoil control, a blue laser for hip fire and ADS accuracy while moving, a bigger mag and an extended barrel for quality of life. This build is a strong no-recoil option and will get many kills if you stay a bit patient. Yes, it can be played aggressively, but I believe it's way more effective if you are not rushing with the first lane but are slightly behind it. And as we mentioned earlier, it is better suited for players who struggle to control the QBZ without creep. In conclusion, the QBZ is a balanced weapon that you can use however you like. CQB, mid-range, long range, it can do it all. It's not the best weapon, but far from being the worst too. Let me know what you think about it in the comment section, and if you have any tips, feel free to share them too. If you liked the video, press that like and subscribe buttons for future content. Thank you everyone so much for your support. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.